Hello, my dear grade 8 students. Welcome back to our class. Again, this is your teacher, Miss Cabs. So, here we are again for our new exciting episode of our science class in Science 8. So, despite of the power interruptions and very slow internet connections, so here I am today. So, go and continue doing this video lesson log for you to cope up and for us to cope up, and we will not miss our competency for this week. So those hindrances can stop us from our learnings, right? So in our quarter 4 module 2, and we are now in our week 2. So we are going to talk all about the digestive system. So in this module, we are going to talk about digestive system. But of course, before we proceed to our lesson, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more updates in our science class. So for this week's objective, based on our most essential learning competencies, we have to explain ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and excretion. And for this afternoon, now we have our very specific objective. Now, at the end of the lesson, you are going to identify the organs that make up the digestive system and describe the function of each organ, and then describe the process of mechanical digestion and explain how the physical breaking down of food helps in its digestion. The existence of life on the planet Earth is mainly based on certain functions and processes. So there are certain basic vital processes which are essential for an organism to stay healthy and to maintain the proper functioning of the body's organ systems. So they are necessary for survival. And these basic essential activities performed by an organisms are called life processes. So important life processes include nutrition, transportation, metabolism, respiration, excretion, and reproduction. So those are the life processes which help in the maintenance of living organisms. What are the basic concepts that we need to know and understand about ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and excretion? So, as we all know that food is life. Okay. Ika nga, food is life. No, and food plays a central role in the survival of species. So, food gives an organisms energy that enables them to carry out the many activities they do each day. So, organisms are able to obtain energy from the foods they eat through digestion. And what is a digestion? So digestion is the breakdown of large insoluble food molecules into small water-soluble food molecules so that they can be absorbed into the watery blood plasma. Almost all animals have a digestive system in which food enters the mouth first, right? And is moved through a long tube and exits the anus as feces. The process of taking food, drink, or other substances in the body by swallowing it is what we call ingestion. The food is broken down into soluble molecules and is moved rhythmically by the smooth muscle in the walls of the digestive system. The muscle contractions, just like in our second picture, try to look at this. Now, the muscle contractions in the esophagus help move the food down to the stomach by the process called peristalsis. Digestion of food is carried out by the organs and substances of the digestive system. The simple molecules that result from chemical digestion pass through cell membranes of the lining in the small intestine into the blood or lymph capillaries. This process is called the absorption. During digestion, food is broken down into smaller parts, whereas a fraction of which is made up of nutrients. These nutrients are circulated to the different parts of the body through the bloodstream and assimilated by the cells, or the process called assimilation. This is the movement of digested food molecules into the cells of the body where they are used. Different species or organisms have different ways of digesting their food. In humans, we have two types of digestion. So, digestion starts in the mouth, where food is chewed and broken down into smaller pieces for easier digestion. And this is what you call the mechanical digestion. Initial chemical digestion starts also in the mouth, but this is carried out by the enzymes. Now, when we are going to speak about enzymes, this is the molecules that speed up chemical reactions. Enzymes present in saliva, such as amylase, helps break down carbohydrates, which are large complex molecules, into simpler ones that can be used by the body. So as we go along with our discussion, we will know where and what structures produces enzymes. After swallowing the food, it will now turn into a bolus. So when we speak of bolus, it is a small rounded mass of a substance, especially after you chew the food and at the moment you swallowed it. So the bolus will enter now into the esophagus. This is the long tube that we mentioned in our previous slide. So it will now enter the esophagus and is moved down into the stomach, where it mixes with gastric juices and acids. So other enzymes such as protease and lipase help break down proteins in the stomach and fats in the small intestine, respectively. So digestion ends in the small intestine, where nutrients are absorbed in the villi and enter the circulatory system. So later on, we'll know what is villi. So waste that remain after digestion go to the large intestine, where water is also reabsorbed. Right? So these waste, including water that was not reabsorbed, are temporarily stored in the rectum before they are excreted out of the body through the anus. So when we speak of excretion, this is the process of removing waste and excess water from the body. Digestion in other organisms works similarly. However, there are specialized structures found in some species that perform special digestive functions. So in this lesson, it will introduce you to the different organs that make up the digestive system of animals and how they interact with each other, or how they work to each other to digest food and nourish their bodies. But the emphasis is given on the human digestive system and its processes. You should know also that the digestive system is made up of different organs that work together to break down food and nourish the body. So there are different structures of the digestive system and the processes they carry. The digestive system of the animals and the organs that make them up vary across species. The structures like the rumen is common among ruminants. Are you familiar with ruminants? So that includes the goats, the cows, and the carabaos. So what do you think is the function of these structures? Enzymes produced by the microbes in the rumen, take note guys, initiate chemical breakdown. So the walls of the rumen and reticulum move continuously. So it churn and mix the ingested fed with the rumen fluid and microbes. Another one is the crop and the gizzard. In our term, gizzard is baticolon. No? And the crop and the gizzard are found in birds and some species of invertebrates like the grasshopper and earthworms. So when we speak of invertebrates, those are organisms that don't have a backbone. Okay? So what functions do you think do these structures perform in digestion? So as we can see, now this one, the crop. So just like example, we have here the chicken. Okay, so chickens have crop. So the food from the esophagus is temporarily stored in the crop. So dito pala na store yung mga food na kinakain ng, for example, yung manok. And then, food that comes from the crop will now go to the gizzard, where it is ground up. So, dito na nag-ground yung mga pagkain na kinakain ng manok. Okay, all animals have a tube-like digestive system. One end of the tube serves as mouth, while the other end serves as the anus. And this digestive system is called a complete digestive system. So the food enters the mouth first, then passes through the long tube and exits as feces through the anus. So complete digestive system. The smooth muscles of the tube-like digestive organs move the food rhythmically through the system where it is broken down into absorbable forms. Outside of this tube are attached some accessory organs like the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, which also helps in the digestion of food. So we will know what are those accessory organs functions. The picture shows a comparison of the digestive system of different representative species of animals. So we have the cyclostome, eel-like structure, the gar, the necturus, shark. Kilala nyo man na guro ko ano ang shark. Now the turtle, chicken. So try to look at this picture. So these are the different digestive systems or different representative species of animals. So we have pig and we have human. So in what ways are the different digestive systems of animals similar? Try to look at this one, guys, and try to answer my questions. Don't forget to write or to take note the questions and answer it later and attach it there in our Google Classroom. So we have here another question. In what ways are the different systems of animals similar, and in what ways are they different? Okay? So base your answer on the picture. The more primitive animals like Hydra have a digestive system with only one opening, which is also called an incomplete digestive system. So if we have a complete digestive system, we also have an incomplete digestive system. So what is an incomplete digestive system? So meaning to say, the organisms eat and defecate with their mouth, which is also alternates as their anus. Okay? So iisa lang yung anus nila at saka yung mouth. Kung saan sila kumakain, doon din nila pinapalabas yung kanilang waste. So just like this one, the Hydra. So it is a genus of small freshwater organisms of the phylum Nidaria and class Hydrozoa. Okay, so let us summarize first. Digestion starts when food is taken into the mouth, and this is called ingestion. And as you chew, you are breaking the food into small pieces as a means of mechanical breakdown. And the pieces mix with saliva before you swallow. And saliva is a watery liquid made by the salivary glands. And it softens and wets the food in the mouth and also initially starts chemical digestion through the enzymes present in it. Then, the food passes through the esophagus, and the muscle contractions in the esophagus help move the food down to the stomach, and this is what you call the peristalsis. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so we are done with the mechanical digestion. So now let's proceed. So how do enzymes affect digestion? Let me show you a video, and after you watch the video, you are going to explain how enzymes affect digestion and infer chemical changes in food as it undergoes chemical digestion. So as we all know that food undergoes physical and chemical change as it moves from one part of the gastrointestinal tract to the other. And digestion makes the nutrients found in food available to different parts of the body for the organism's nourishment and overall wellness. So yes, kindly watch this video for you to understand more how important an enzyme is for the digestion. And please take note of the questions because you are going to answer the questions that is included in this video. Okay? What do you think is the importance of an enzyme? So, and what role do the digestive enzymes have in digestion? And what is chemical digestion? Where does the chemical digestion takes place in the human digestive tract? So this time we are going now to talk about the chemical digestion. So we are through with the mechanical digestion. And let's proceed for this chemical digestion. So at certain times of the day, you hear your stomach rumbling. And this is the sound you hear as the gastric juices are churned in an empty stomach. So this indicates that you are already hungry and it is time for you to eat. So the stomach and some glands start to produce gastric juices to prepare your stomach for the food you will eat. These gastric juices provide an acidic environment in the stomach. So the stomach has three main functions. It is the temporary storage of food, which passes from the esophagus to the stomach, where it is held for 2 hours or longer. Next is the mixing and breakdown of food by contraction and relaxation of the muscle layers in the stomach. Guys, our stomach is like a balloon where it can stretch na when it is filled na, and then mabalik naman siya, makupos naman siya kung wala naman siya unod. So the adult stomach can hold 2 liters of food and the same time water. So stomach juices are chemicals made by the body that help digest food. The stomach is made up of muscles that churn and help mix the food and break it into even smaller pieces. Digested molecules of food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and lipids are broken down to simple sugars that are absorbed in the small intestine. So they are circulated to the different parts of the body as they join in the bloodstream. They are used up as sources of energy once they are assimilated by the cells. And those that are circulated into the liver are stored. Proteins are broken down to their component parts, also called amino acids in the stomach, and this process is aided by acids secreted by the cells that make up the walls of the stomach and enzymes that are present in the gastric juice. Like the simple sugars, amino acids are absorbed in the small intestine through villi. What is villi, miss? Now, villi is the walls of the small intestine, and it contains many folds that are lined up with tiny finger-like protrusions called villi. This one, guys. This one is the villi. So these villi are in turn covered with even smaller protrusions called the microvilli. And these structures increase the surface area which nutrients are absorbed. In case of fats and lipids, their digestion is completed in the small intestine where bile secreted from the liver disintegrates them into fatty acids and glycerol. So when you speak of glycerol, it is the particles that are circulated to the rest of the body and stored in fatty tissues. Those that are circulated into the liver are stored as glycogen. The gallbladder is the small sac-shaped organ, this one. The small sac-shaped organ beneath the liver in which the bile is stored after secretion by the liver and before it released into the intestine. So again, this is the process of the digestion. So, and these are the different structures that involves in the digestion or in the digestive system. So we have there the process of digestion is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and elimination or the excretion. So the food will enter into the mouth first, and it is what you call ingestion. And this one, no, we have there the liver, which is in the digestive system. The liver produces the bile, which helps with the digestion of fats and oils. So we are now in our summary naman, guys. We have the gallbladder. It is where the bile is stored and concentrated. So we have also there the pancreas. This one is the pancreas, guys. Lain ang natudlo da sa arrow. This one is the pancreas. Pancreas is the biological catalyst called enzymes are produced in this area or in this structure, the pancreas. Digestive enzymes, as we all know, it helps speed up the breaking down of large nutrients molecules. We also have the small intestines where food is mixed with digestive enzymes and bile in small intestines. The enzymes speed up the digestion process. Nutrients are then absorbed into the bloodstream. And next we have the esophagus, the long tube, the fibromuscular tube connecting the mouth to the stomach, and the food is pushed down using a wave-like muscular motion called the peristalsis. And so we have the stomach. This is the muscular organ where food is mixed with gastric juices. And gastric juices has a low pH, meaning it is acidic and is used to help digest food and kill potentially harmful bacteria. And we also have large intestines where are made up of two parts, the colon and the rectum. The waste that doesn't absorb by the small intestine was stored first in the rectum before it is excreted. So feces are stored in the rectum until they are ready to be passed. And we have the anus, where it is the feces leave the alimentary canal through the anus. So anus where the feces will live through this area. Okay, and that's all for this lesson. Okay, so I hope that you have learned new for this discussion or for this video. And of course, before we end, let me remind you of your answers. Now, please don't forget to write it in our comment box. So if you have some more questions or clarification, so don't hesitate to PM or message me through Messenger. Okay? So, thank you for listening, guys. Keep safe, everyone, and God bless each one of us. Bye!